Hey guys, TheMMOFifty here. You'll have to forgive my facial condition as well as a few other things. But I recently had a weekend to just relax. Those of you wondering when my next review is going to come out for the original Kamen Rider, it is coming out this weekend. I had a few problems with the original source footage. The footage actually got corrupted. I'm not sure how, but it did for the episode. So I had to reload the entire episode, and now I'm having to go ahead and recut the episode into smaller pieces. Or rather, I'm gonna have to cut the original episode footage in order to get the editing it. I've decided for this review to do something a little more simple than my Go Ranger review, because my Go Ranger review was a bit longer than I would have liked. And I don't know how to upload videos in more than 15 minutes. I know there's a way to, I just don't know how. Anyway, that's not what I wanted to come on and talk about. I wanted to come on and talk about, oh lordy, what was it? Well, it was Summerslam last night. I actually, and I'm not kidding about this, I actually did think that Punk was going to win. I honestly didn't expect Del Rio, but that's part of the Money in the Bank contract that's allowed to be, you know, just out of the blue. That's fine by me. So yeah, Del Rio's now the champion. Kudos to him. And Kevin Nash getting involved, that's a little weird to me. But it actually makes some semblance of sense, actually. It could eventually come around that, you know, Nash is working with Triple H or, you know, something like that. Anyway. I actually remembered what I wanted to discuss. Recently, I had done a vlog of the new Thundercats episode, of the episode 1 of the new Thundercats series. And I've seen the other 2 episodes that have aired so far. They're good. One thing that I noticed that kind of bugged me just a little bit was the fact that the person who did the voice of Snarf, from what I can tell, is a Japanese woman. But it seems like they changed actresses between episode 1 and episode 2, and from 2 onward it's like a different actress, though maybe she's just delivering it in a different way. Because in the first episode, it was all kind of like a cat, all meows and just cutesy little sounds. And in the recent episodes, there's kind of been little bits of the snarf sound in the dialogue, pretty much. But Snarf still isn't talking. He's still using like snarf, 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 just without any other dialogue. But he's still cute as heck, though. So, and the Petlars, the 3rd episode, the Village of the Petlars. That episode actually didn't hit home for me a lot, but it did do something. And hold on, dang it, my focus is crap right now. I don't know why, the lighting just seems off. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh yeah, the Petlars. The Petlars, it was a good episode. It kind of brought the idea that, you know, Lion-O is having to deal with the burden of having to basically grow up very quickly. He's growing up fast. He has to. He has no choice. And I love the little subtle hints here and there, like, of the relationships between the characters. Wily Cat and Kit, you know, they're doing what brother and sisters would do. They're daring each other to do crazy stuff. They're getting into little arguments, you know, that kind of thing. I have two older sisters who are older than me by maybe 10 years. So I'm not unfamiliar with sibling stuff. But anyway, I loved a little subtle thing here between Lion-O and Chitara in the first few minutes of that episode. They see Wily Cat and Kit having a Cat dares Kit, the girl, to kiss a monster that looks like a frog. I think they call it a frog or something. And she does it, and she's mad at him because he actually dared her to do it, and she starts chasing him all over the place. And Lionel looks over at them and he's like, it's hard to believe, you know, how time flies. And the entire episode revolves around the idea that, you know, life can come and go in an instant, and you never even, it could come and go before you even have a chance to do anything about it. So that's a very interesting theme. The last episode, episode 2, was sort of a Captain Ahab Moby Dick kind of thing. And I admit, it seems like a little bit of a break in character from Lionel from the first episode, but it does make a little bit of sense because in the first episode, okay, spoilers, in the first episode, the kingdom of Thundera was destroyed, and the kingdom of Thundera was basically left in ruins, and for all we know, all that are left are the Thundercats. Those are the only ones left. Cat, Kit, Lion-O, Tigera, Chitara, and, okay, another spoiler here. At the end of episode 3, we see Panthro in the Thunder Tank. In the first episode, we heard from Groon that the Panthro had been captured after fighting valiantly, and we find out later in the same episode that Groon is a traitor, so whether he was, you know, handed over by Groon, or whether he got captured then Groon, you know, decided the heck with it, I don't know. I really don't care, to be honest with you, because it's still cool to see. And Panthro has the Thunder Tank, and it actually makes sense, because if he was in captivity by the lizards, and the lizards in this series have advanced technology, then it would make sense that he's, you know, spent the time in captivity to, you know, maybe covertly study their technology, understand how to make it work, that kind of thing. Like the Panthro in the original show did. The Panthro in the original show was technology-oriented, he was very smart. He was the brick of the team, but he was also the smart guy, as it were. As I was saying about Lion-O, the departure in character really isn't all that drastic compared to what happened in the first episode, because the first episode had to establish his character, and it also had to establish that, you know, his father being killed by Mum-Ra, spoilers, and his entire kingdom, his entire world is now destroyed. The second episode, he, you know, vows to go after Mum-Ra, but near the end of the episode, he's like, you know, revenge isn't worth it if you end up destroying yourself to do it. And they eventually decide to go out to the Book of Omens. And they're still looking for the Book of Omens in episode 3. And, but yeah, I love, there's little subtle nuances between the characters. Lion-O and Tigera are adopted brothers in this, apparently, so they interact with each other like real brothers would, you know. Lion-O is the younger brother, but he's the only one who can become king unless he dies. Then I believe Tigera can gain position. It hasn't really been established. Anyway, subtleties between the characters, Wily Cat and Kid having fun, Lion-O and Tigera, you know, having a bit of a rivalry, but they still respect each other. They still love each other as brothers, but they, you know, it's a sort of rivalry that, you know, hey, you know, just let them hash it out and see what happens, you know, just gloves are off. Let's just see, you know, how far they go before they hurt each other, kind of thing. I don't know really how to explain it. And then there's the subtlety between Lion-O and Chitara, and I know I'm probably gonna get called a number of names for this, but god dang it, man. Chitara's redesign is just gorgeous. I mean, I can see her as a real person. I can see that they actually may have taken a real person, a real model, a real woman, and modeled her figure after her. I can see the possibility of that, though, with just putting it this way, she has a well-proportioned figure, she looks beautiful, and her voice fits, you know, her character perfectly. She's the calm, wise type, which the Chitara of the old show was too, but here, you know, she's not necessarily unsure of herself, but it's really kind of hard to say. She's not uncomfortable with the prospect of being the wise anchor for everybody. She's more or less kind of like the teen mom, but she's not doing it in such a way that she's being an overbearing mother hen, if you will. Funny. Hens are eaten by cats. Anyway, but during the first few minutes of the show, Lion-O and Chitara, she puts her hand over his while they're sitting next to each other around a little campfire, and a little, not really intimate gesture, but like a gesture of familiarity and of closeness that, can be interpreted as a gesture of intimacy to some extent. But I could just be reading too much into it. And then Snarf comes in, and Lion-O's like, they said, better be good, Snarf. And Snarf tells him, something's... Snarf says, Snarf all over the place, and, he's basically said, we got... the lizards are coming this way. Chitara jumps up into a tree and checks the entire lizard army is coming that way, and the others join her, and then they start running into a briar patch. And this, big briar patch is filled with these creatures that are like sentient flowers. Sentient anthropomorphic flowers, but they are they're alive, they can talk, and they grow, but like real flowers, their lifespan is fairly short. According to the episode, they age in the span of a single day for an entire life. So imagine having all of your life condensed into one day, and you perceived that one day as you would an ordinary life. It's like if we came in contact with a species that lived far longer than us and considered our year one day, or considered an entire lifetime. Say a human being lives exactly 100 years. They consider that 100 years to be one day. That's basically like it is. And it's actually a very nice little, not morality tale so much, it interestingly sets up the idea that, Lion-O has to get used to the idea that, he should be cautious at times, but he needs to take action while he still can, because he's not always going to have that chance. Don't throw caution to the wind all the time, but, exercise caution when necessary, And I like the way they've portrayed Lion-O so far. He's actually played by the same guy who played both Ron Stoppable and Terry McGinnis in Batman Beyond. So I'm familiar with this guy's work, and his distinctiveness, the way he makes the voices distinct between all three of these characters, of course they're several years apart, is notable, and it's very easy to hear. Lion-O can sound a little bit like his other roles, but still sounds very unique in a way. But anyway, yeah, just the characters so far are being built up very nicely. They're not really relying, from what I can tell, too much on the old stuff to they're using the old material to say, we could draw inspiration from this, but we don't have to necessarily copy it exactly. And that's a good thing, because it allows the show to grow into its own and become its own thing, while still honoring and being a tribute to the original. Anyway, so yeah, that was a extremely abridged review of the second and third Thundercats episodes. I'm going to go ahead and sign off here, but before I do, I want you guys to check out my other videos if you could, because I put a lot of work into them. And granted, I could put more work into them, yes, but check out my other videos if you have the chance, if you have the time. If you don't like them, you have your right to your opinion. Just please do me a favor and, don't put flame comments in the bottom. Constructive criticism would help, but if you want to say something negative, please don't put it in there, because I will just remove them. Anyway, thank you for watching this vlog. I'm going to go ahead and sign off. TheMMOFifty out.